Soy Salvador García Soto y a partir de este lunes quiero comentarle que las noticias de la noche cambian de horario. De lunes a viernes a las 10 lo espero por el canal 10. Ya lo sabe, el mejor análisis, las historias, los personajes están aquí en las noticias de la noche del Heraldo Televisión. Las noticias donde deben de estar. Acompáñenme.
Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world, you are watching NowMedia Television.
Welcome to Power CEOs, the truth behind the business. I'm Jen Gaudet, your fearless host, entrepreneur, investor, and business strategist. And I'm here because I truly believe that iron sharpens iron. And when we come together as entrepreneurs and share what's working in business and even the things that aren't, we're able to work together to elevate each other. By linking arms and growing together, our businesses grow. And the impact of that is that it spills over into not only our families and our teams, but also our communities and our world. I'm really excited today because today I've got some special guests in studio for you. We're going to talk all things business athlete. How do you become the business athlete? What mindset do you need? And how do you transition from being an athlete to being an entrepreneur? Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to my guests today. I have with me Tremaine and Cassandra Dortch. Welcome to the studio, guys.
Glad to be here.
Hello, hello. Okay, so Trey and Cass are both coaches. They're athletes by nature. And I want to just get a little bit about what was it that initiated the entrepreneurial journey for you so that we can kind of hear that story before we dive deep.
Well, I guess it started with my mom. She wanted to lose some weight one day, and she asked us if we'd be willing to start a little boot camp outdoors. And from there, it kind of sparked the entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, just starting off, we had 6 people. 4 of them were relatives, so of course they weren't paying. And then from there, you know, I believe it was a mistake. We did like a 12-week session.
Oh my goodness.
And
yes.
that was really long. So from there, we kind of lessened to a 6-week program. We had some really good results from that first 12-week program, which brought more people out. And then we ended up getting a lady who lost 60 pounds over the summer.
Over the summer, yes.
Yes. And
That's awesome.
she was a teacher at an elementary school. And when she went back to school that following year, all the teachers were like, wow, what are you doing? Yeah. They were blown away. And
from there, it was all about just community and helping people fall in love with fitness, because people have, you know, a certain mentality when it comes to fitness. So our main goal is to help them fall back in love with it. And that's pretty much how it all began.
Yeah.
That is a really great story, and it's community driven. I love that you're helping people fall back in love with fitness, because you're right, we've been through the ringer in fitness, and we'll get into all of that in a little bit. But I also want to welcome back to the studio Paula Cook, business strategist. Paula, welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back and ready to hear about this fitness and how it you know, really translates to business. I think we're going to hear some really neat things today.
Right, so let's just dive in, and I'm going to call out the elephant in the room. Trey, you have been on American Ninja Warrior. You are an athlete yourself, and so you have certain skill sets as an elite athlete. How have you noticed that has transitioned into the entrepreneurial athlete?
That's a very good question. With being an athlete pretty much all my life, I played football, ran track, boxing, and for all athletes that know, it's 80%, darn near 9% all mental. And then, so to transition into a business owner, you have to be mentally tough, because just like American Ninja Warrior is all about obstacles, so is business.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of them. So just keep you gotta keep in mind, right? No trials are gonna come, but as long as you stay consistent and continue doing what you're passionate about and caring about people, everything falls into play. But having good leadership, good, constantly researching on how to run a business, like the job never ends.
Absolutely. And Cass, you're very athletic yourself. You are also an athlete. How are you able to lean on that athlete mindset as you navigate the entrepreneurial waters?
So I have been extremely blessed to have this one with me. Because I grew up doing a lot of dance, and so switching over into becoming an athlete, like he said, takes a lot of mindset, willpower, never giving up, the not comparing yourself, really trying to just stick in your lane. And so
no feelings.
No feelings, yes. So that's one that's one thing that we kind of run by, and that has really helped me athletic wise, is getting out of my feelings, getting the job done whether I feel like it or not, showing up for myself whether I feel like it or not. And a lot of times people are led by their feelings and their emotions, and as an athlete, no matter what, you have to show up and you have to perform. So it's definitely business wise pretty much the same thing. You have to show up and you have to perform.
Absolutely. And Paula, you work with athletes in the athlete performance coaching realm, and you work with entrepreneurs in this realm. What do you see in addition? Are you seeing the same themes? Is there anything else you wanted to add that you're seeing that athletes really, we could learn a little bit about in the world of entrepreneurialism?
Absolutely. So the fundamentals that Trey and Cassandra were speaking about are the same fundamentals that you have as an entrepreneur. So what I'm hearing and what I know to be true is this an easy transition. Really, there are a lot of athletes that turn into entrepreneur because they have that foundational skill set, that drive, that determination. I have to show up. I'm not giving up. I'm going to do what it takes. I'm going to have all the coaches. When you look at an athlete, I'm sure Trey and Cassandra, doing the many things that they've done, have had several different coaches and athletes and have to do all the things. And the same thing as an entrepreneur to be successful. And so they translate in their very equal skill sets for success. And so it's exciting. And the mindset piece, honestly, an athlete has stronger than I see with my entrepreneurs who don't have any athlete experience or athletic experience. And so I would say that we can learn a lot from an athlete and get a different mindset and a stronger mindset as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, and I think the elephant in the room, because I didn't hear this, is entrepreneurship. People think it's all easy, it's all success, but the reality is the best entrepreneurs, most successful entrepreneurs are not afraid to fail. They're not afraid to fail, and we learn more in our failures. And I want to speak to that because, Trey, you were in American Ninja Warrior, and how many times do you fail on all of the things? I mean, we all know, we've all seen the show, we've all seen it during training. You have to fail and fail and fail and fail just to get to the point where you can be successful. So talk to us a little bit about how that training mirrors some of the things you're experiencing in the entrepreneur space.
So out of all the sports I played, Ninja Warrior was definitely the most challenging. Boxing is definitely up there, but with Ninja Warrior, it definitely brought back all my my previous athletic juices back, right? You're used to performing, on the field or in a ring and stuff like that. So not doing it for a little bit and then getting on that main stage, it was quite a rush. So everybody fails on Ninja Warrior. Whether you won the entire show, everybody hits the water once. It's the getting up aspect and coming back the next season. I mean, there was making it to the national level where they have in Vegas. There's 4 stages. Stage 1, my first 3 years, I fell at the exact same spot.
Wow.
Heart breaking. Literally, they have it on national television. I cried in my buddy's arms. And I'm not a big emotional guy, but when you care about something and we train all year for it. We have local competitions that we go to, and it just keeps us sharp throughout the year. So when we get to what we call our Super Bowl, we're ready to go. So to fail at, not once, not twice, but 3 times at the same spot. Or was it twice?
Oh, no.
It hurt. It was this thing called jumping spider. But so to hit the water when you know your ability, you've hit this obstacle in training a billion times, to fall at it on a national level, it's a tough pill to swallow. But getting back up is what athletes are built up. You go right back to the drawing board. You go back to the lab, you start training again, you train even harder, you train smarter, you get more coaching, you get more experience. So it's a never-ending test, but it's the best test because it makes you grow in not just that area, but in other areas.
Yeah, and so many times people don't see the failures before the success. They only see, like I like to use Elon Musk as an example. Like him or not, is irrelevant. How many times did he put in all his chips and go broke before he ended up being, one of the most successful men in the world, quite frankly. And so, that is an athlete mindset as well, right? We are failing and we're not afraid to fail. We're not afraid to try and to think big and to go big. It's go big or go home in entrepreneurship, because if you're just like everybody else, it's real crowded at the bottom fighting just to make it to survive. And 98% of small businesses fail. But there's a lot of space at the top, and those are the people who think big, aren't afraid to fail, aren't afraid to go out on a limb and do the things and invest in themselves and invest in their business to get to that next level. And do they fail? Yes, we fail a lot. I've failed so many times. I've had epic fails. Let me just share, the more successful the person, the more epic the fails that they have been through, because we learn that way, just like you did in Ninja Warrior. So I want to hear a little bit about that piece of it. Because it's hard, and you guys are married. You guys are not just, going through this in entrepreneurship and as an athlete and her supporting you in that, but you're going through that in life.
Yeah.
So how are you able to bring all of those skill sets and leave the competitiveness and like the failures and the things that the challenges, how are you able to leave that at work? And then also be able to have the family life at home, because y'all aren't just entrepreneurs, y'all are in the same business working together. So how is it that you are able to navigate those waters? Because I tell you, there's a lot of people out there who are married to someone who's an entrepreneur in a separate business or even in the same business. And that's a question we get a lot.
Well, So at first it was very, very, very hard. The divorce rate, we all pretty much know, is about 50% across America, and then it's 90% if you're in business together. And so at the beginning, we did not know how to separate business and personal, and we didn't know each other's different personality types, what triggers us. We just had 2 kids, we opened up a business. There was a lot of learning. And one year,
Year 7.
Year 7.
He's like, I remember. Oh, they know the exact year.
Yeah. People told us all the time, just wait till year 7, that was our roughest. And we was like, nah, we got this. We're in love. And just, with her just having our second child, little Ezra, in the gym, I was teaching all the classes. I had no other trainers. So to be at the gym for 4 a.m. to 9:30, PTing throughout the day, and then, our relationship not really being able to be there. Right. She's frustrated having to do the business side of it. Thank God I have her. Right. But we were just bumping heads.
We were bumping heads.
Year 7 was hard.
I felt like at that time I had to put my life on hold, but I also had to work because of the expectation, not just him, but client-wise, you need to keep your business going. So there's that expectation of, I gotta keep this happening. So there was a lot of bumping heads, and we ended up deciding to invest in ourselves and go to a business relationship coaching kind of seminar. And that was absolutely life-changing for us. We learned our different personality types during that time, because obviously when you start a business and you're going through also life changes, you as people change. And we weren't understanding those changes. And from there, we ended up being able to kind of separate things where business is business, personal is personal. And he will let me know, because if I could choose, I would be a workaholic. I would be like, let's go.
No one shut it off.
So now we have like codes for things. So when it's time to shut things down, it's time to shut things down. He will let me know, like, hey, listen, there's no business talk right now. And I have to respect that. And especially for our kids, we need to make sure that they don't just see mommy and daddy always working and grinding, that there's fun to it, and that our relationship is more important.
It's not suffering because of it.
Yeah, it's not suffering because of it. So it's been a lot of learning, but I'm happier, way happier now.
That
so
seminar helped. It really helped me understand my wife and what she was going through, how to address her, you know, how to work with her, because I have my mindset, she has hers, and just bring together. I mean, that was an obstacle in itself. Yeah, but we learned a lot, and we haven't had any issues since. We're 5 years from that.
Year
so
7, and it's only gotten better.
Yeah.
I can see that, as we can see. We can definitely see that.
And they're still holding hands.
Oh yeah.
Show that.
They are still holding hands. You know, that's a real challenge for a lot of us, because I know Paula and myself, we both have had very similar stories, right? Paula, you know, you've struggled with the boundaries. How do you manage to separate being the business owner and the entrepreneur versus being the mom and the wife and all the things? How were you able to maintain that?
Yes, so I wasn't as fortunate. I was a statistic, and I'm probably having even more statistic for me, and I don't even know it. But I've been married. I'm on my 3rd marriage, and I was a workaholic, and that's why I was like recovering, because the marriages did not work. In my very first marriage, we did work together, and it did not work. However, I have a beautiful son from that marriage, and it's amazing. But going into the 2nd marriage, I said, okay, we need to do something different. And like Trey and Cassandra went to a workshop to learn better. I had to go to a life coach to learn better for me and what I wanted and what I needed and how I could contribute and be the wife that really, truly be the wife that I wanted to be, and not was just saying I wanted to be. There had to be action, right? To wanting to be that wife. Needless to say, the 2nd one didn't work. But like Trey said, we continue as athletes. If we want something, we go get it. And I have always had a desire to be married. And so now I am married to my high school sweetheart. And we had an epiphany about a year ago. And we've only been married a year, but we have an epiphany that helped us to get married. And it sounds like they've had that same thing, is we're on the same team. And so when we figured that out, there was not so much headbutting and so much my way, I need to be right, I need you to hear what I'm saying. It's like, we need to hear each other. What can we do to have a better relationship? How can I serve you better? How can you serve me better? How can we make this better? And I, like Cassandra, am a happy married woman at this time, and we are great. But it's intentional, and I love how they give the story of they went and got help. We were not created to do this on our own. If we would do it on our own, we would just be here by ourselves. We're not created to do this on our own, and sometimes we need that person, that workshop, that education, knowledge to shine the light on what's happening to help us see better. And so I totally agree. It's wonderful now that we know how to function the best in a relationship.
You know, and so you've got a couple of different stories, right? You've got, hey, as athletes, we have coaches. We have multiple coaches, and then in business, we need coaches too. We need life coaches to help us to navigate what it's like to have a relationship when we are such high performers, because let's be real, athletes are competitive.
Yes.
We're competitive. Like my husband and I, we continually get coaching because other people can see us objectively, but we're in a relationship. So that objective third party, that other coach, helps keep us in track. And the other thing that I've really noticed, and because we get a lot of questions, or I get a lot of questions to my email, if you're watching this, we're on this topic because you asked for entrepreneurial couples. You asked for how do we navigate these transitions from athletics to entrepreneurship, so I found you both. But the reality is we're highly competitive individuals, and all top 1% entrepreneurs are highly competitive, just like elite athletes are highly competitive. And so when we get into a business partnership, or we get into a marriage, which is a partnership, or even more intense, we get into a married business partnership, there's always going to be conflict. But the way we navigate that is by learning how to have open communication and how to look from that other person's perspective. Because it's not just about competition, just like Paula said, it's about being on the same team, and we all need that. Paula still needs coaching, I still get coaching, I go to masterminds, I know you guys are coaches too, so you understand it's important that we have that space for us, because we're serving the public. You guys are helping the public to be healthy. Well, relationship health and health and mindset as an entrepreneur, that's a key part of that. If you guys aren't managing that, you can't be there for your clients.
Right.
So I think it's a really important topic, because a lot of times people are like, oh, coaching, no. Well, the reality is we all need to invest in ourselves to get to that next level, because if we knew how to get there on our own, we wouldn't be there and we wouldn't have the conflicts that we have. So I think it's really a positive message, and it is possible, folks. You heard statistics and you heard both sides. I'm an entrepreneur. My first marriage failed. I'm on my second, and we're hitting 20 years, but it's not been without going on retreats and masterminding with other entrepreneurs who are couples. We put ourselves in rooms with other people who are in the same arena. Trey, you were talking about Ninja Warrior. Well, boxing's another sport. You get knocked down, you got to get back up or you're out of the match, right? I know I kickboxed for a while. And entrepreneurship is like that, and marriage is like that. Like when we get knocked down, we got to be able to pull ourselves up, and sometimes we just need a little extra help. But what we don't need is spectators who aren't in the ring with us and don't understand,
right,
who maybe get a steady paycheck and they're not having to kill to eat, or like they don't understand. Like an entrepreneur, business has always got obstacles. It's always got challenges, and it's always, what's the next challenge, and what's the next problem I'm going to solve. That's what it is. It's what we thrive on. And so it's so important that you surround yourself by other entrepreneurs who are in the arena, and not listen to people who don't understand, because they can't really contribute to that conversation because they don't get it. It's not that they don't have worth. They have plenty of worth. They just cannot contribute in this space because they don't understand it. If you're not an entrepreneur married to an entrepreneur, you can't have a conversation about what it's like because you don't know. You've never been there. You could read about it, but we all know that reality versus academics is completely different. So thank you for sharing that. I think it's important to hear, because on Instagram, what do we see? We see, oh, it's perfect, life's perfect, everything's perfect, no problems, right? But that's not reality. We live in the real world here. So let's take that the next step. You guys are parents. So how are you able to, because that's a whole other ball of wax, right? Co-parenting, and I know because I've been a co-parent as well. Mom and dad maybe don't parent the same way, so you have to get on the same page. So how do you add that in the mix, and how are you able to maintain your business and your marriage and also co-parent in a way that works for both of you?
It's a very good question. We're still learning that ourselves. I mean, people talk about, oh, you gotta have balance. You gotta have balance. There's no balance when it comes to being a husband or a wife, gym owner, being a parent. You adjust. We're homeschool parents, so we try. I do my best to help with her if I'm not in the gym.
At math.
I take over the math part, but it's a lot of teamwork.
Yeah, and the thing is too, like for me, I've been taught all my life, like you have to have balance, and that's just what I knew I needed in life. And then it wasn't till, I want to say, a few years ago that I realized it was the balance that was giving me anxiety. I was feeling like I was failing because I thought I knew what my balance looked like. And like he said, once we figured out that, hey, you can have something structured.
A schedule.
And you can have a schedule, you can have a structure, you can try to have balance, but you just need to adjust. Once I understood adjustment, that helped us a lot, and it helped with parenting, especially because, like he said, we homeschool, so we do have a schedule. However, if something happens different,
comes up,
if something comes up, we will then meet with each other, figure it out, and continue on, where before it was like, oh my gosh, my world is falling apart.
and really, it's kind of been the best thing for us having our kids at home, because when our son wasn't at home, he was at school, I wasn't seeing my son. So us having and developing that relationship and was really important to us. When they're with us, my son, he trains when I train. My son's also taught 2 boot camp classes at 8 and 9 years old.
You're in the making.
Yeah, he taught his first class when he was 8 and 2 adults. He's also done PT for little kids, so he's already, and he got paid for it.
Come on.
So he's already learning how to, we helped him with that, helped him understand, like, you're working with this person for this long, you're showing them these exercises, so he's already learning just being around us, the both of them, on how to be an entrepreneur at such a young age.
And it's been awesome too, because you know, we are different in parenting. So I understand that I'm the softer parent. He is very strong with mindset and like getting over things and like really just being there ready to perform. I like explaining stuff. I don't like my kids just being told, hey, this is what you're doing, and that's it. So they now are able to, like, they're able to have adult conversations with adults because they question and they're not afraid. And it's been really good. It's been fun.
Absolutely.
It's work, but fun.
You know, it's really an interesting conversation. It's one that, imagine the gift that you're giving to the kids, that you guys, they're seeing you, they're not only learning their academics, but they're also hands-on learning entrepreneurship, and what does that look like? And as entrepreneurs, we oftentimes guilt ourselves. There's something called mom guilt and you know, entrepreneur guilt because we're not there. But you know, on the other side of it, what are you gifting to the kids? They're seeing that, guess what? Life isn't all about me. There's other priorities in life too that have to get taken care of. And I think that's a true real world learning. You know, they say that the school of hard knocks are the school of life, but the reality is you're gifting the kids with something that they wouldn't get in school. And you know, financial literacy is going to be there. They're learning how to manage money, how to make money, how to do the things that they need to do to be independent young citizens. So I think it's really amazing, and this is a great conversation. Unfortunately, we do have to take a brief break, but stick around because you're not going to want to miss what we have coming up. We'll see you in just a few moments.
Your spine gives your body structure and support. It allows you to bend and move freely, and more importantly, it protects your spinal cord. Your spinal cord is a column of nerves that connect your brain with the rest of the body, allowing you to control your movements. But when your spine gets misaligned due to slips and falls, car accidents, sports injuries, or years of repetitive wear and tear on the body caused by everyday activities, it can cause painful conditions. Stop living in pain. At Lacombe Chiropractic, we can help your back pain, pinched nerves, sore neck, bulging or herniated disc, headaches, or posture problems. We offer chiropractic adjustments, cold laser, decompression, and therapeutic massage. We can even help you reach your weight loss goals by offering the Ideal Weight Loss Program in our office. Often all it takes is just a few treatments for our patients to experience pain relief and better functioning. We'll find the cause and correct it so you can live a better life. If you're worried about those daily aches and pains getting worse, or really don't know what to do or who to call, don't wait any longer. Call Lacombe Chiropractic now at 512-645-0420 so you can improve your health and live a better life.
As a critical aspect of your operations, you need the right technology partner to provide you and your business the peace of mind of having reliable and efficient IT systems. In addition, with cyber threats, ransomware at an all-time high, adequate, continuous, and proactive data protection for your business is an absolute must. Hi, this is Roland Parker with Impress Computer Solutions. We are experts in tailored IT solutions and professional 24/7 IT support services. We proactively monitor, maintain, manage, and protect your IT and data assets. Additionally, we have the know-how and horsepower to do the correct procuring of any and all computer systems or software your company may need. Having the correct IT infrastructure and not being able to operate safely and correctly is very expensive and can eventually destroy growth. So take a decisive step and call me today for a complimentary consultation at 281-647-9977 for your unique IT needs.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Gaudet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life. Welcome back to Power CEOs, the truth behind the business. I am Jen Gaudet, your fearless host, entrepreneur, investor, and business strategist. And I am really excited because we have been having a great conversation with amazing athletes turned entrepreneurs, Trey and Cassandra Dorsch. And we were just talking before the break about parenting as entrepreneurs and marriage as entrepreneurs, particularly when you work in the same business, and navigating some of those challenges. If you're just tuning in, you're gonna wanna go catch the first segment because it was really jam-packed full of great stuff. You can do that by going to NowMedia.tv, selecting Power CEOs, and finding today's show. But we're gonna just dive right back in. So before the break, we were talking about the relationship side, like the personal side of business. Now I want to dive into the business side of the sports business, because as prior athletes, we've already talked about mindset and not being afraid to fail and overcoming and persistence and all of these things, the moxie it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. I want to hear a little bit about the fitness business, because we heard your why. We hear the challenges. How are you able to navigate those challenges and continue to serve the community that you're so passionate about serving, especially when the economic times get a little bit rough? And I think I'll let Cass start.
Well, I have to say that it's definitely been a challenge, but during this time, a lot of people think when we're hitting economic, I guess you can say hardships, that they need to pretty much stop everything that they're doing and really focus on just holding, I guess, their finances, right? Mm-hmm. So in a gym business, usually gyms are like the first thing cut. You know, they're like, okay, let's cut that. Instead of cutting like cable, you know, something. Eating out. So one thing that we really focus on, especially for our community and our members, is that fitness and health is not an option. And a lot of people think and believe that it's an option. Like, I get to choose to be healthy. You don't get that choice. You are blessed with that choice and are blessed with that opportunity. And so we really just try to continuously encourage our clients to put their health first. Because without your health, there really is nothing. Like, your work doesn't really care if you're sick, because by day 7 or 10, they'll be looking at the clock like, all right, if you're not coming into work, you're replaceable. So we really just try communicating that aspect.
We do small clips, we call it Mindset of a Beast, where we get to tap into their mindset to kind of help them reevaluate what's really important. You can't help anybody if you're sick and dying over if your child needed help and they're 20 feet away from you, but you can't make it to them because the kind of shape that you're in, you can't go help your baby. So we kind of get into their mind that it's bigger than you, right? Everybody has relatives that are either out of shape or need guidance. So why can't you be that inspiration for them? Not just you just looking good. Who can you inspire to also get active? We have a lot of people whose parents either pass because of health problems. It's like, you got kids, that's you too. And now on top of that, like when you tell your kids, you need to do your homework and stuff like that, what kind of example are you leading if you can't show up for yourself with your own health? Like, we ask them every day, hey, did you foam roll and stretch? Because that benefits you. But you don't and you get injured. How do you feel if your child were to do that to you? Right? If they're not showing up for class or not turning in their homework and stuff like that. So just little segments like that, we try just to stay with that mental aspect, because if you can't strengthen that, then it's a wrap.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part of our business, is that we are more focused, or at least try to be more focused on the mindset aspect versus the physical first. Everyone just thinks physical, physical, physical. It's like, no, you have to tap in to the mindset. And like he said, like, part of my reason for working out too is if there's an emergency with the kids, I want to know I can grab them and go. I want to know, like, I had one of our clients way back. Her husband had a heart attack and she couldn't pick him up or move him. I want to be able to at least be able to, move him. So it goes a little bit deeper when you find the purpose, the why. And with business, we try to communicate that over to our members. And when we've actually been very blessed throughout this whole season of the recession and pandemic and all of that, our members have really stuck to the gun, and it's because it's not just the gym. It goes.
Yeah, it's more than just workouts. The workout's the easiest part.
Yeah.
And so, taking it from a business strategist perspective, we coach our clients to be able to show the value of your business and to also care about your clients and your customers, not just as a number and money, but genuinely care and like you're saying, instill that value that you guys have about fitness and falling in love with fitness and how it's a must. Like, it's not an option or a choice, it's a must. And in these hard economic times, when your fitness is a must, then you're right up in there with groceries and gas and mortgage, and my fitness is a must. And so that is really, really important. And as we're, going through these economic times, people are going to choose things. Some things may seem like they want it, and then some things may seem like they need it. But when the wants are a need, you hit the nail on the head. You're in a successful place.
Well, and honestly, something that is really important, and it's either whether it's in the sales process or the ongoing client education process, by focusing on the mindset, the other side of that is, okay, great. If you're not healthy and something happens and you have a hospital bill, how are you going to be able to handle that? Is that going to sink your family's economic ship? we have to think about that as entrepreneurs too. Like if we're not healthy as entrepreneurs, and I can't tell you how many people, and Paula probably has this, there's several entrepreneurs who step into our space and they're visibly unhealthy and they don't have any energy. Well, if you don't have energy and you're not sleeping and you're not moving your body, you can't solve problems and be focused and have speed of implementation, so you can't grow your business. Right? So it all comes down to you as the entrepreneur. And part of the thing about, we've been talking about business athletes a lot lately. We want to create business athletes because if you're a business athlete, you have the mindset, you have the health and the mental acuity to be able to solve that next level problem that's going to help you navigate and grow and scale your business. And so I think it's all building blocks, but if we as the entrepreneurs, and if you at home are listening to this, you're like, I can't get off of the floor. Don't tell her that. The reality is health becomes not a want. It's a need. It's a necessity, because when we are entrepreneurs, we have a tremendous amount of stress. If you're unhealthy to begin with, you can't handle that stress that comes during challenging times. And we need to make sure that we're able to do that. We have to be the healthiest version of us and lead by example for our team so that they can continue to serve, and so on and so forth. So I think it's really important, some of those things. And during challenging times, we have to be able to position it. It becomes about sales and positioning. We talk a lot about, sales and marketing. Well, you market to the need. You want to make sure that people need what you want. And that's for you, any business that you're in. When we're in tough times, we need to show the potential clients or even communicate to our existing clients that they need us, and this is why. Right? And so that's a good takeaway from everything that we've talked about today. But I want to then ask you guys, for our entrepreneurs at home, because I'm a coach, Paula's a coach, you guys are coaches, we're all coaches in different areas. Y'all are physical, we're more in the business strategy side. For our clients at home, or the people who are viewing or listening at home, if they are maybe not in their best shape, maybe they're so-so, or they're happy but not really happy with where they are, what is the first small step they can take towards health? Because you're in a gym, and there's a whole subset of people that won't go to a gym post-pandemic because they still have this idea about what it is, and they're afraid of getting sick, or they don't want to look funny to other people. Like, what is one way that they can start that process?
So, information is out there. It's 2022. There's YouTube, there's Google, there's Google University, what my wife calls it. YouTube University. You can learn anything.
TikTok,
TikTok, it's everywhere out there. You just have to be disciplined enough to find something that works for you. Start slow. So slow. One, you may want to get a fitness assessment just to see if you have any muscular dysfunction. That way you're not getting injured down the road. Really taking care of the recovery is huge in our gym. But just start slow and give yourself a pat on the back when you do that workout. Be proud of whatever level you're on. It progress slowly. Fitness is a marathon. There's so many different levels. So to break the comparison game, don't go into fitness, I'm not where she's at, I'm not where he's at. At our gym, we have all levels, from 15 to 65 has been our oldest. So in all shapes and sizes. So the main thing is just going at your journey, enjoying your fitness journey, find help. If you have a question, ask. There's information's out there.
Even if you're starting with 20 minutes 3 days a week, that's just gonna allow you time to kind of clear your mind, get things flowing through your body, and just eating healthy with those 3 days a week and trying to drink a gallon of water a day, you will see great improvements just off of that. And like he said, starting small is key. Usually people get excited and they're like, I'm motivated, I'm gonna go 6 days. And
they go ham those 6 days, and then they hurt themselves, or they get crazy sore. They're like, I ain't doing that no more.
So it's kind of like in business, you do dive in, but you obviously start small. There's this step and this step and this step and that step. You don't just go into business and you're on step 50 when you didn't even do steps 1 through 49. So it's pretty much.
Yeah.
That's important. And as a life coach, we always talk about baby steps. You're not gonna, Cassandra's saying drink a gallon of water a day. that may not be where you are. If you were drinking no water, get up and drink 8 ounces. And we're excited. And do that 8 ounces like every day for 6 days or 7 days, and then go to 16 ounces.
Yes.
And then you just keep going up the ladder. The main thing is to do what you can do consistently.
Get started.
The fitness journey is a lifetime journey, and I at 43 am getting that in my head. I even asked my personal trainer, I'm like, do you have a lifetime package? Because I need this for life. What can you charge me for life? And he was like, are you playing? I'm like, no, I'm serious. I need this for life. And whether it be with my personal trainer or going to Beachbody or whatever, it has to be a lifestyle. It is a need. In order for us to be the entrepreneurs, athletes that Jen and I are talking about, and that Trey and Cassandra have proven to be today, we have to be healthy enough to be able to move and adapt and think. When you're an athlete, you go in with a plan, but then when the plan changes or the opponent comes at you with something else, which is our economy saying, no, gas is this high, or groceries are this high, or, this is happening, and the economy makes a turn, or the pandemic comes, or whatever it is, as an athlete, you're quick on your feet. You make a game time, what we like to call game time decision, and you move and you shake. And that's what makes you the athlete. And so we have to do that in our business too. This is fantastic. It just, light bulb moment for me. But yes, it's super important, a lifestyle for fitness, and we preach that, and we believe in that, and we also we model that daily. Like we say with our kids, we model that. My son, 15, he decided that he wanted to be a YouTuber, and I'm like, you can't be a YouTuber. And my life coach was like, he's an entrepreneur, you have to let him do his thing. And I'm like, okay. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna open my mind to this, because I'd be like, when I call you, I'm one of them mamas. When I call your name, I don't care if you filming, I don't care if you streaming, whatever, you better come on down here. So we made an agreement. We said, okay, Mom, when I'm filming, I'm gonna let you know ahead of time, and I'm asking for some time to do that. And I did, and we got a $2,000 check in the mail. Who knew? Because his YouTube channel, people were watching it and they paid. That stuff was real. And I was like, oh my God, look what happened. And so the fact that he saw Mama also stepping out and being an entrepreneur, he was like, I want to do that too. So it's important from all levels that we're modeling, because our kids are watching, our community is watching, and we get to leave that legacy that we have on the inside of us as entrepreneurs that we want to give to the world. Super important.
Yeah, so I just want to kind of like summarize some of the key topics. Like what I heard, baby steps. Baby steps. It's like that in business. Like if you've never had a business before and you're watching this and you're like, I think I want to have a business. Baby steps. We have to first have a plan. Without a plan, we're planning to fail. That's why so many businesses fail, right? Baby steps. In your fitness journey, baby steps. We can't just all in do it, because what's going to happen is we're going to either burn out or we're going to injure, or we're going to go in. It's like it's go big or go home, and we end up going home because it was too much. It was too big of a bite-sized chunk. So we want to make sure that our little bite-sized chunks are happening no matter what our goals are, right? And then we want the right coaches, the right mentors, whether it's business, whether it's fitness, whatever area it is, your relationships. Find the coaches and the mentors to help you stay on track and get to where you want to be. And then, the other thing that really came to me as you guys were speaking really, really, really strongly was, whenever you have a question about what is my priority, get back to the basics. What is, ask yourself, put it down, write it on paper, set that goal so that you can be, having that in your schedule. And that's the next topic I want to talk about, because you guys are obviously still super fit. You're entrepreneurs, you're parents, you've got, all of these competing priorities. How is it that you're able to maintain your time, to maintain your health and your fitness and your relationship? How do you find the balance you were talking about, and what works for you? Like, how are you able to continue to honor that as the business changes and the economy changes and all of the things?
You want to go?
That was a good question.
So basically for me, one thing that I do is I prioritize. Like, that is key. So on my schedule, first usually goes like my spiritual, whatever I plan on doing spiritually. Then goes like if I'm doing anything with my spouse, if I'm doing anything with my kids, then it's my workout. My workout literally goes before work, the kids' school and everything else, because I know if it doesn't get on my schedule, my whole day is just gonna go by and I'm not gonna find the time to work out.
You're not nice when you don't work out.
And I'm not nice. I'm not nice when I don't work out now.
Same, yeah.
So it's become a prioritizing. So people will prioritize happy hour. They'll prioritize when they're getting their nails done or their hair done or anything like that. And it's a matter of making the switch to prioritize your health, making the switch to prioritize when you're going to be working and doing the stuff for your business. And then for us, when we're switching to do homeschooling and when it's just time for each other. And we really make sure we've set boundaries on making sure that we say no a lot more now, because at the beginning we didn't say no. We would say yes to everybody and everything.
Our weekends were swamped just to jump straight into another busy week, so it's like, nah, I ain't going.
Exactly.
So we've learned to prioritize each other, and even if that meant like, hey, there's a family function happening this weekend, if he's not wanting to go for whatever reason, I respect that. Where before that would maybe become an argument. So really finding the respect, the boundaries, and just prioritizing and setting that up. I know it sounds like we've heard it before, setting it up as if it's an appointment, but really not canceling it. Like I tell myself, oh, I'm gonna pay somebody $100 if I cancel my appointment with myself. And I'm not gonna pay somebody to cancel with myself. So really it's been priorities. Yeah.
Okay, so I hear priorities and I hear, sometimes we need to say no, and unfortunately, all good things do come to an end, and we don't have limitless time today, and I know I'm sad we'll have to bring you back because this has been a really, really good conversation all the way around. How can our listeners and our viewers get in touch with you guys if they want to learn more about fitness, if they want to learn more about the fitness industry and entrepreneurialism in that wellness space, or if they just want to get in touch to get in shape and get themselves kicked into gear? How can they reach out to you?
We do have our website, beastbody.org, or you can always contact me on like Instagram or anything like that. People ask a lot of questions when it comes to fitness.
Pretty much the website, Instagram, the Muscle Ninja. The muscle.ninja, excuse me, my bad. Or beastbody_fitness_, and really it's just we're all across social media, YouTube, all that fun stuff.
Here to help. I like when people ask questions. Makes me actually feel like I'm working. So I love fitness. Our whole gym is all about building athletes. Average people that they never saw their bodies doing a particular thing, and now they're able to do it. So that motivates us. So if you have any questions, always feel free to ask.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was absolutely a pleasure. And Paula, if people would like to get in touch with you to become that business athlete that we've been talking about, how can they get in touch with you?
That's right. Please email me at paula@jengaudetcoaching.com. That's paula@JenGaudet coaching.com. The mind is a muscle too, and we have to work that out. So please feel free to reach out to me, but reach out to these wonderful couple here with Beastbody to get that mind and your body together.
Yeah, absolutely. And you, yes, you, now I am talking to you. We have talked about all kinds of amazing things today. We've talked about relationships, both personally and professionally. We've talked about being a business athlete and what it looks like overcoming adversity and leaning on your mental reps, like having that mental toughness so that you can survive any challenge and create your own economy. We've talked about how to pivot and manage to grow a business during a challenging economy, and so much more. But if you have further questions or you have comments or want to learn a little bit more about something else, go ahead and email me, JenGaudet@JenGaudetCoaching.com, because that is how I know how best to serve you, and that's what we're here for. We're here to grow together, to hear from other successful entrepreneurs, and really learn and grow together. And part of that is action. You can't just listen to us for an hour. I know you could totally listen to this for an hour and not do anything, but you won't go anywhere, you won't grow. So my challenge to you is we learned a whole lot of different things in a whole lot of different spaces, from fitness to entrepreneurship. That's just a small part of the equation, but implementation is where the magic happens. So pick one thing you heard today, whether it's starting your fitness journey and starting with a glass of water, or doing 20 minutes 3 days a week just to get your body moving. Whatever you heard today that you would like to implement, start now. Not tomorrow, not next week, because you'll forget and you'll never get started, but today. Take that start, take action, move forward, elevate your life, your business today. Because it's those little steps that we were talking about that make the big changes, both in our businesses and in our lives. And if I learned nothing today from our guests, it's to put in the mental reps, to challenge yourself and to not be afraid to pick yourself up after you've failed. So make sure you create that business athlete inside of you. If you'd like help for that, go ahead and reach out. You know, you can always reach out to me, to Paula, to these amazing people. But all things do come to an end, unfortunately, including this show. So I'm going to wish you go win today, win this week, and we'll see you same time, same station next week. Have an amazing rest of your day.
This has been a NowMedia Television feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Gaudet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Hispana de noticias y entretenimiento. Sirviendo a la comunidad hispana por más de 25 años. El mejor contenido para estar informado. Política, comunidad, moda, cultura, entretenimiento, cocina, comercio y más. Obtenga su copia gratis en todas las taquerías Arandas.
Your spine gives your body structure and support. It allows you to bend and move freely, and more importantly, it protects your spinal cord. Your spinal cord is a column of nerves that connect your brain with the rest of the body, allowing you to control your movements. But when your spine gets misaligned due to slips and falls, car accidents, sports injuries, or years of repetitive wear and tear on the body caused by everyday activities, it can cause painful conditions. Stop living in pain. At Lacombe Chiropractic, we can help your back pain, pinched nerves, sore neck, bulging or herniated disc, headaches, or posture problems. We offer chiropractic adjustments, cold laser, decompression, and therapeutic massage. We can even help you reach your weight loss goals by offering the Ideal Weight Loss Program in our office. Often all it takes is just a few treatments for our patients to experience pain relief and better functioning. We'll find the cause and correct it so you can live a better life. If you're worried about those daily aches and pains getting worse, or really don't know what to do or who to call, don't wait any longer. Call Lacombe Chiropractic now at 645-0420 so you can improve your health and live a better life.
Are you considering selling more than likely what is the most expensive investment, your home, now or in the near future? Before you throw away precious equity down the drain and live to regret it, I'd like to share with you 5 reasons why you need to stage your space, whether living in it or selling it vacant. Hello, I'm Kat Trelinos, President, Master Staging Professional, and CEO of Ta-Da by Kat Next Level Staging and Design. Number 1, you need to stage because you'll make more money. According to the National Association of Realtors, more than 5 to 20% more staged. Number 2, so buyers can visualize the staged property as their next home. Stage because, number 3, not staging will only help sell your competition stage homes. Success